The silent witness. Jordan saw everything but said nothing. For 6 months. He watched Emma get shoved into lockers, heard the whispers in the cafeteria, saw the group chat messages making fun of her clothes, her voice, the way she walked. He was in that group chat. He never participated, but he never left either. He was a silent witness, and in his silence, he was complicit. Emma sat 2 rows ahead in English class. Jordan noticed when she started missing school. Once a week, then twice, then 3 days at a time. Her grades dropped. Her hands stopped shooting up to answer questions. She shrank into herself, trying to become invisible. The main bully was Aiden Carter, captain of the soccer team. Emma had rejected him at a party, and his ego couldn't handle it. So he launched a systematic campaign of harassment, recruiting others through charm and peer pressure. Jordan had been recruited too, added to the group chat without asking. "Why don't you just leave the chat?" his little sister asked one night, seeing him scroll through the cruel messages. "It's complicated," Jordan said. "No, it's not. You either think it's wrong or you don't." She was right, and he knew it. But leaving meant possibly becoming the next target, meant social exile from the group that determined who was in at Roosevelt High, meant choosing a girl he barely knew over friends he'd had for years. When Emma reported the bullying to Ms. Chen, the anti-bullying specialist, Jordan assumed it would stop. Ms. Chen was supposed to help. That was literally her job title. But Jordan watched Ms. Chen's intervention. She pulled Emma out of class, making her even more visible as a target. She questioned Emma's perception. "Are you sure they meant it that way? Could you be misunderstanding?" She suggested Emma was stressed about grades, about her parents' expectations, about anything except what Emma was actually reporting. Miss Chen interviewed witnesses, including Jordan. He panicked and said he hadn't seen anything definitive. "Sometimes people joke around," he told her. "I don't think anyone means real harm." The official report concluded, "No evidence of bullying. Possible interpersonal conflict. Student may benefit from stress management counseling." Emma read that report in the principal's office, with her mother beside her. Jordan wasn't there, but he heard about it later. How Emma had cried. How the bullying had gotten worse because Aiden's group now had official confirmation they could continue. The school had investigated and found nothing wrong. 3 weeks later, Emma didn't come to school, or the next day, or the next week. Rumor said she'd been hospitalized, depression, suicidal ideation. The direct result of 6 months of systematic harassment that the school had officially declared didn't exist. Jordan couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't look at himself in the mirror. His silence had contributed to Emma's hospitalization. His fear of social consequences had valued his own comfort over another person's safety. At 2 a.m., Jordan started typing. He documented everything. Every message in the group chat going back 6 months. Every incident he'd witnessed. Every conversation where Aiden had organized group harassment. He included his own participation, the times he'd laughed to fit in, the times he'd stayed silent when he should have spoken. He emailed it to the principal, the superintendent, and the school board. He copied his parents. He knew this would destroy his social life, but Emma was in a hospital, and his social life suddenly seemed pathetically unimportant. The response was swift. The principal called an emergency meeting. The group chat evidence was damning. Dozens of students participating in coordinated harassment. Aiden was expelled. 5 others, including team members and previously untouchable students, were suspended. Ms. Chen was removed from her position, pending investigation into why she'd dismissed a legitimate report with substantial evidence. The school board discovered she'd similarly dismissed 3 other cases that year, always finding reasons to doubt victims rather than investigate thoroughly. But Jordan's biggest fear came true. He became a social pariah. Former friends called him a snitch, a traitor. He ate lunch alone, got shoved in hallways. Now he understood how Emma felt, received threatening messages telling him to watch his back. For 2 months, it was brutal. Jordan almost regretted speaking up. Then Emma returned to school. She was quieter, more guarded, still healing. But she was back, and on her second day, she walked to Jordan's table in the cafeteria. "Can I sit here?" Jordan nodded, throat tight. "I heard what you did," Emma said quietly. "My mom told me you sent all the evidence, that you testified in the hearings, that you—" She stopped, collecting herself. "That you chose to do the right thing, even though it cost you. I should have done it months ago, before you ended up in the hospital. Maybe, but you did it eventually. That matters." They sat in silence, two social outcasts in a cafeteria full of cliques and hierarchies, and invisible rules about who deserved protection and who deserved persecution. "Want to start an actual anti-bullying group?" Emma asked. "Not one run by adults who don't believe us, one run by students who've actually experienced it?" Jordan did. Their group, Witnesses to Action, trained students to document bullying, support victims, and report to authorities outside the school when internal systems failed. They lobbied the school board to implement checks on how bullying reports were handled, requiring external review of any case dismissed without action. They created an anonymous reporting system where students could submit evidence without fear of retaliation. They held forums where victims shared stories and witnesses explained why they'd stayed silent and what finally made them speak. Jordan shared his story at every forum. "I saw everything and said nothing. I was afraid of losing my social status, my friends, my comfort. But silence isn't neutrality. Silence is choosing the bully's side. Silence is complicity." He never got his old friends back. Most still considered him a traitor. But he built new friendships with people who valued integrity over popularity. He learned that being liked by everyone isn't as important as being able to live with yourself. Years later, Jordan studied education policy, focusing on bullying prevention and intervention systems. Emma became a social worker specializing in trauma. They stayed friends, united by shared experience and the understanding that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop being silent. Jordan kept one screenshot from that night at 2 a.m., his email to the principal before he hit send. The moment he chose courage over comfort. The moment he stopped being a silent witness and became an active advocate. That screenshot reminded him it's never too late to do the right thing. And witnessing without acting isn't innocence, it's participation. Key facts. Bystanders are present in 88% of bullying situations. When bystanders intervene, bullying stops within 10 seconds, 57% of the time. Many schools inadequately investigate bullying reports, requiring external accountability. Silent witnesses often experience guilt and trauma, similar to direct victims. Anonymous reporting systems increase reporting rates by 30–40%.